Kyle Lee's been singing to Dixon Street for 4 years and 7 months. But like his songs say, it's finally time to move on.
Ladies and gentlemen.
5 cups of coffee, or 1 Four Loko. Lingonberry jam or Jarlsberg cheese, or Lefse crisps with goat cheese, which I'm about to try. Oh, and it's good. While the game at Auburn is a homecoming of sorts for Ambrose, he insists that this is just one more game to try and play his hardest and win. Ambrose's strong start this season serves as notice to coaches all over the nation that sometimes the players you need are right in your own backyard. Voter turnout has been very good. One person saying that other than the presidential races, they've never seen it this crowded. This was a huge win for Arkansas. While the Razorbacks are out of SEC championship contention, a possible BCS Bowl still hangs in the balance. In case none of what was showcased tonight matches your skill set, it should be noted that unicyclists and circus arts lovers are welcome to join the club too. A New York Times best-selling author was at the Fayetteville Public Library tonight to talk about her new book, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. The spot I'm standing in outside of Grubb's is normally a hot commodity for those looking for a short walk to their Dixon Street destination. But now it is known as Spot 604. The first Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue rally was held 10 years ago with over 300 riders attending. Starting tomorrow, thousands of people will begin to flood into the northwest Arkansas area, most of them rolling right through where I'm standing here on Dixon Street.
This Evan Bentley reporting.
For UATV, I'm Evan Bentley reporting. If you hang around Kyle Imsall, it's going to be fast, it's going to be intense, and it's going to be loud. But depending on what time of day you catch him, will determine what you're going to hear. Every Friday and Saturday night, Kyle Imsall sets up on the steps of the Walton Arts Center, plugs in his Fender Stratocaster into amps powered by a speedboat battery, and becomes Kyle Lee.
When I get off work, I'd play my guitar and I'd write tunes. And it was basically blues and, you know, my influences, which is, you know, a lot of the 80s, late 80s hair band stuff I liked. And I just kind of mixed the blues and that together and come up with my own style.
Kyle Lee doesn't wait for you to notice him. He lives hard, and his style of play reflects that, grabbing and forcefully holding the attention of whoever happens to be passing by, with wild headbanging and screams that come straight from his heart.
Mainly what I'm singing about is mainly the heart and soul of a man that's without his woman or, you know, searching for his purpose in life. I try to sing about, you know, my dreams, my hopes, and, you know, how I feel, and, you know, basically, that's it.
This corner has been good to Kyle, and on this corner he's discovered the secret to success. But he dreams of more.
I always had a dream to, you know, to be something, to be somebody, to do you know, to do a professional entertainment show. What I discovered is the only way you're going to be able to do that is by writing your own tunes and, you know, just being yourself. You know, if it don't work, it don't work, but at least you're doing what you want to do.
So while he has enjoyed being the in-between bars entertainment for the patrons of Dixon Street, Kyle Lee thinks it may be time for him to get his show on the road.
I'm ready to move on and get off this street corner. I don't want to overstay my welcome. You know, and 4 years and 7 months out here every weekend, snow, rain, heat, I think it's time to move on.
Kyle Lee's been singing to Dixon Street for 4 years and 7 months. But like his songs say, it's finally time to move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, my partner to the right here, name is Evan Bentley, and I want to shout out this Evan Bentley reporting live down here, and this is my last verse.
The recent trend in drinking is to combine alcohol with energy drinks. Four Loko makes that easy by pre-mixing the two for consumers like college student Garrett King.
You really only got so long from when you start drinking to when you get kind of sleepy. So the ability to extend that out with caffeine is great.
At 12% alcohol, Four Loko, a malt liquor beverage with added guarana, taurine, and caffeine, is strong enough to be nicknamed blackout in a can, and thus has drawn the attention of the FDA, which has ordered the drinks off the shelves. With the increase in popularity of mixing alcoholic and energy drinks, students are trying to find newer and more efficient ways of creating these beverages. So, to get the desired effect, one could drink about 5 beers and 5 cups of coffee, or 1 Four Loko. And with the current formula of Four Loko being discontinued to avoid an FDA ban, demand for the product has only increased.
Once the FDA came out and there's big publicity about how bad it was for you, then everyone started coming in and buying cases at a time. Demand skyrocketed.
A lot of that had to do with, your parents call you and they say, don't drink this. I heard about this on the news, and as we all do, as soon as you get done talking to your parents telling you not to do something, you go directly to the store to buy that thing they told you not to do.
And when it can't be found at the local stores, don't count out the lengths that some will go to obtain it.
It was Sunday and we couldn't, you can't buy alcohol on Sundays in Texas. So I called a friend of mine who is from a state that you may know called Missouri, and he, which is the holy grail of alcohol sales, to be completely honest. And I had him get a case for me.
It doesn't really taste necessarily good, but it's the negative publicity that got actually made it. Everyone wants it now because we've heard how crazy this thing can be.
But King knows that soon the supply will run out.
I'm sure that eventually we won't be able to. You're probably right. You will kind of have to go back to what we did before. We'll be okay.
For UATV, I'm Evan Bentley, reporting. Fayetteville likes to keep it funky. Small businesses and original restaurants are welcome, which made it the perfect spot for Matthew Holland to open up his restaurant's doors.
I lived in Norway for the last 6.5 years with my wife. I went to school in New York, and since then, in 2001 when I went to school, I've been having this dream to open a little place.
So far, business has been good.
People seem to really like us. It's just growing word of mouth more than anything. Every time people come, they'll want to come back and bring their friends. It seems that the word's spreading.
While other Fayetteville restaurants offer fine casual dining as well, Yim puts a twist on that by being the first in the area to offer food with a Scandinavian influence. So while diners can still order things like steaks and burgers, on top of those they can try things like lingonberry jam or Jarlsberg cheese, or lefse crisps with goat cheese, which I'm about to try. Oh, and it's good.
We do sauces and other combinations that are very typical to Denmark and Norway. On every entree we have 2 or 3 different influences from the Scandinavian regions.
Being the only Scandinavian-influenced restaurant in the area, Holland's restaurant called Yim may seem foreign, but he claims it's more familiar than we might think.
So many people in America are immigrants from Scandinavia, and a lot of the American cuisine is influenced from Scandinavian and Northern Europe and Germany, so it's not so different at all.
The most foreign thing about Holland's restaurant might actually be the name.
I think people are intrigued by the name. Hjem means home in Norwegian, and I try to create that kind of atmosphere.
Holland combines Scandinavian influence with styles he learned while living in the Pacific Northwest to create something he thinks everyone can appreciate.
After living in Norway, I see that those two complement each other very well. A lot of the ingredients and styles of cooking go very well. So it's not something that's so foreign to the average American, especially even here in the South, where when they hear that we're Scandinavian, they think it's quite exotic, but it's not so far from home.
For UATV, I'm Evan Bentley, reporting. The Razorback football team has returned to Fayetteville with another win. It took 2 overtimes, but Arkansas was able to grind out the tough victory on the road. Niall Davis rushed for 184 yards and 3 touchdowns, but his 2 fumbles gave Mississippi State the chances they needed. The sophomore back was able to redeem himself by catching the game-winning touchdown pass from quarterback Ryan Mallett. Mallett credited the win to maturity, saying that this team has grown up a lot since last year. This was a huge win for Arkansas. While the Razorbacks are out of SEC championship contention, a possible BCS Bowl still hangs in the balance. It's pretty simple. If Arkansas beats LSU, and if Auburn beats Alabama and then South Carolina in the SEC championship game, Arkansas will have a record of 10-2, the second best in the SEC, and most likely headed to the Sugar Bowl. At Reynolds Razorback Stadium, I'm Evan Bentley, UATV News. We all know students complain about having to juggle things in their lives with school, work, and social lives. It can be a daunting task, but some students actually do juggle, and they like it. Tonight in the Union Ballroom, the University of Arkansas Jugglers Club and the Institute of Juggleology put on a show. Balls, pins, and rings were thrown 3, 5 to even more at a time. There was also card tricks, hula hooping, and stupid human tricks to go along with other gravity-defying feats. If you're interested in joining the act, the University Club meets every Monday from 5 to 7 on the Union lawn with good weather and in the Hyper during bad. The Institute of Juggleology teaches a free class on Thursdays at the Jones Center in Springdale. In case none of what was showcased tonight matches your skill set, it should be noted that unicyclists and circus arts lovers are welcome to join the club too. For UATV, I'm Evan Bentley, reporting. The first Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue rally was held 10 years ago with over 300 riders attending. Starting tomorrow, thousands of people will begin to flood into the Northwest Arkansas area, most of them rolling right through where I'm standing here on Dixon Street. The motorcycle rally is now the largest in the nation that benefits local charities. Last year, $48,500 was donated. Also expecting to benefit from the rally are local businesses. The University of Arkansas Center for Business and Economic Research conducted a study in 2005 and found an estimated $35 million was pumped into the Northwest Arkansas economy during the Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue Week. As the rally grows, so is that number expected to grow as well. Besides the bikes, there will be free music for the public at both the main and the south stages downtown, as well as the amp at the Northwest Arkansas Mall. There will be barbecue teams competing from around the nation, and the public will be able to try those barbecue items Friday at the Washington County Fairgrounds. For more information, go to bikesbluesandbbq.org. For UATV, I'm Evan Bentley, reporting.